Hello, my crafty friends. I made a bunch of dog-themed cards. I just kind of was feeling creative and thought I would like to have some note cards to have in my stash, and so I'm going to show you what I used to make my cards, and then I'll show you all the cards. I try not to buy too much pattern paper because if you follow me, you know I have a massive stash. However, I saw these from Photo Play and I couldn't resist. So I got 2 sheets of this. They're 12 by 12 sheets, and I really like the heart print, and then of course the reverse has got a plaid. I expected I would use the front of both of these rather than the back side, but it gives you options with double-sided paper. So then the other one that I bought is this one, and it has all kinds of really cute cut-aparts on it. And then the reverse side is the stripes. So what I do, and I've talked about this before, generally when I get a sheet of pattern paper that has stripes on it, I cut it into strips. So I did that, and I got a bunch of strips that I've used on my cards. So, you know, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, sometimes an inch. I just cut a bunch of them with the stripes going horizontally and then hang on to them. You can see in my little baggie here, I've got a couple of the journal cards that I haven't made into cards yet, but man, I made a good dent in the package and the papers, and those are fairly generic. I expect I will have more fun with the leftover pieces there. So in addition to those 2 sheets of the 12 by 12, I also got the Simple Stories washi tape. I've been using washi tape a lot more lately, and I use this washi tape on all of these cards. Really enjoying it. And then the Simple Stories bits and pieces, the Pet Shop dog. So it looks like I have a ton left, and I actually do, but I used a lot of them on projects. So those are what I've used, and here are my cards. So we're going to start with this first one. It's an A2 sized card, and it has just that adorable little cut apart. I added Nouveau Glaze for some shine. The sentiment was already on there. So I attached the cut apart. The cut aparts, I just cut down 1 sheet so that I would have them all, and they're generally 3 by 4 inches. So I added it to a stitched panel, and there's one of those striped pieces that just gives a nice pop of color. And this one is actually a pop-up, and I used Karen Burniston's Catherine Label pop-up, which is my most used pop-up die, I'm sure. Here's one of the hearts that I actually fussy cut from the pattern paper, and then one of the elements from the ephemera pack. So there's my first little card, and then I have 2 mini slimline cards. This one I made, it will be donated to my mom's old nursing home, and I just laid strips of washi tape across a white panel. I wrapped it around the back side of the panel but so everything would stay nice and flat, and then I added stamping there, and here's the inside. So that's a cute little birthday card I'll be sending off. And then a note card for my stash. That's another cut apart, some ephemera. There's that heart paw print, the patterned paper, and I added Nouveau Glaze to the paw on that. And inside, the dog is in charge. That cracks me up. There's the ephemera, some more of the washi tape, one of my striped pieces, and lots of room to write a note. Now, the other thing I've talked about are these Memories and More. They're card packs, cards and envelopes from Stampin' Up! Last year they had a beautiful kind of blue and green one, and I thought, yeah, I'd get it eventually. I don't order often or a lot from Stampin' Up!, but I was really kind of intrigued by those cards. Well, apparently everyone else was. They sold out right away. I never did get my hands on them. So when I was ordering, and I've shown this in another video, I ordered their ice cream set and a mountain set. It was during Celebration, and I was able to get some free paper for that. So that was back in February. And I also ordered 2 packages of the Memories and More. So there's this one, and I don't know offhand what it is, but it will be listed on my blog. Everything that's available will be linked or listed on my blog, and that's in that description box below. But I really like the size of them. They're, the cards themselves are 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and they're sized for a 4 by 6 photo, leaving a border. So I get a lot of use out of them. They always have nice envelopes. These came printed, they're lined. It just makes a nice presentation when you send it to someone and they've got the envelope and the liner and everything kind of matches. So this one uses 4 by 6 cut apart, and then I added ephemera on top of it, some with foam tape, some Wink of Stella, and then inside, as I said, they're blank. So this was actually the card, and I turned it inside out because I didn't need the yellow shining just around the outside of that. I didn't want to waste all of that pretty printing by hiding it all with just that little tiny border. So instead I added, I just turned the card inside out, and there's my border inside, and lots of room to, again, to write a note there. And I just thought these were so sweet, these little guys. So the two little dogs, I added it on a stitched oval. That is from Divinity Designs. More of the Nouveau Glaze on their nose. A wink of Stella on the heart. And again, washi tape, some ephemera. I just worked on these several evenings. I think there might have been a hockey game, some sports that my husband was watching and didn't really appeal to me. So I just kind of puttered off in the craft room while he was watching, and I just did this over a couple of evenings, and I tell you, I just smiled the whole time I was making them. Again, this little guy just cracks me up. I put a piece of washi tape across the bottom here and 2 more pieces of the ephemera. Beware of dog kisses. How cute is that? Again, washi tape inside. Lots of room to write a message. And this one was in the same package as this. So it's the same package, and I think there's 20 cards in envelopes, and 10 of them are the blue, green, and 10 of them are the yellowy, orangey, peach ones. So this was the first one that I actually opened. I took it out and I scored every 1/2 inch. I don't know what I was planning. I had something in mind, and I did the scoring and then realized it wasn't going to work and put it back in the package. So I wasn't going to waste it. So here I added a cut apart on a larger white panel that I embellished with washi tape, added some ephemera there and some of the Nouveau Glaze to make his nose shiny and room to write a note inside. And then this woof, oh my goodness, this was a watercolored cut apart, and I added 2 strips of the striped paper, and I liked it. In fact, I liked it so much I cut down the second one. I had been using that sheet mostly for the striped paper, but I couldn't waste that beautiful woof, so I did actually make a second card with it, added some ephemera. This one has the You Had Me at Woof. That is a Tailored Expressions, a Tailored Expressions simple strips set. Simple strips, the stamp and die set. And then inside washi tape and a strip of paper, piece of ephemera there. And then this woof has got another one of the dogs, some sparkle and Nouveau Glaze. And this was another one where I turned the card inside out so that the color would be on the inside. So that's kind of the difference of how they look there. So when I was finished, I had some little scraps and bits and pieces, and not one to let anything go to waste. I made some bookmarks. So the woof comes from the ephemera pack. I added it to, now this is heavyweight cardstock. It's like 110 pound. It's nice and sturdy. I always have bookmarks laying around. And my husband said he preferred them without a tassel. And he likes this size. So he pretty much dictated what he wanted. So I made most of them the same. So a scrap of the heart printed paper. There's the woof. I added some gold gel pen highlights. Home is where the dog is. That's how we roll. This little dog got some Nouveau Glaze, but it's still nice and flat to keep inside a book. And I did add a tassel. Another scrap of the heart paper with some washi tape. And then finally this, again, it is a heavyweight, the teal cardstock. It's a scrap left over from this first little A2 card that I made. And some of the ephemera. This one reminds me of our old Brandy Girl. The striped paper, some Nouveau Glaze, and I added a tassel to that as well. We have dog-loving friends who also like to read, so when I send them Happy Mail, I'm going to tuck a couple of bookmarks in there, and that's my dog-themed cards that I just had a blast making. If you enjoyed my video, please hit that like button. That is such a help for YouTubers. Subscribe to see more, and that's it for me today.